All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or online AWD, or Application Web and Web Development, 1100 C# programming class for the spring 2024 semester, I've been doing a series of video presentations. This marks number, I don't know, must be 41 or something like that. And it'll be the last one if I finish this, or if I have to do it over two parts, it'll be the second last one. But we're on chapter 22 of 22. I've also done some program videos, but this is going to be another PowerPoint video. So let's get started. And there we go. Chapter 22, how to use the data grid view control. We've got 4 applied objectives here. Use a data grid view control to display data from a data source. Customize the appearance and operation of a data grid view control. Use paging with a data grid view control. Use a data grid view control as part of a master detail form. And 1 knowledge objective. Describe the use of a DTO or data transfer object and when you should use one. So this is an example of a data grid view. All right. Now, in many ways, when you look at it, when I first saw one, it kind of reminded me of an Excel spreadsheet. And it sort of is like one. But the idea is that it can show you a lot of data. All right. A lot of database data. All right. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to go off course here a little bit. And I'm going to go to, I found the program that I was looking for. And I'm going to take this line of code that's right here. And I'm going to put it in here twice. Now, why am I doing this? Because this is the one I want. This is the main one. But I'm going to come in here. And if you remember, we did that program called Employee DB. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in Employee DB. All right, I'm going to save. And I'm going to run the program. Now, you may or may not remember this. You know, we just did this not too long ago, but this should compile just fine. I would sure think it is going to. Maybe not. Okay, it's giving me an exception. A network-related error when establishing the connection. The server was not found or was not accessible. Verify the instance name. This is not good. Con.open. We got con right there. There's our connection string. Oh, I didn't change the name to employee DB. Okay, I did. I made a mistake here. That's got to be there. This has got to be employee DB. That was my error. Apologies. Let's run it again. And this should give me a break. What does it give me here? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Lovely. Well, let's see if, and I don't know, but let's see if we can bring up the original one, or if I get the same error. All right, and this is the MMA books database. This doesn't make me happy. No, it does not at all. All right, we'll have to look at it later. This is what's supposed to happen here, just to show you very quickly. All right, that if I bring this up, doesn't look like too much, but what I can do in here, let me move this over. What I can do in here is, when I run the program, I can write a query in here. All right, like select star from employees. Click execute. It'll show me all of the employees in here. It'll show me how many records were selected. Then if I want, I can clear, which will clear this and this, and set that back to 0, or I can exit. Now, it may not sound like much, but it does allow you to go in and test any query you want to, basically against the database. I'm not sure why it's not working. All right, it might be too old of a version or something. I don't know, but we'll look in a bit. All right, common properties of the data grid view class include rows, columns, and data source. Common method of the data grid view class is auto resize columns. Now, as it says, you can use this, this data grid view control to display data in a row and column format. And as I mentioned, that's what this is. Rows. So each one of these is a row. Each one of these is a column. No big surprise there. The intersection of a row and a column is called a cell, just like it is in Excel. You can also use a data grid view to add, update, or delete data. Now, in my example, we're not giving you that possibility. But notice here we've got the ability to both update and delete. We did not put the ability to add in there, but we instead put it in through this button. So here's what a data grid view looks like as it says when it's added to a control. And you'll notice in here, this is when you say, I want the ability to add, the ability to edit, the ability to delete. You can choose none of them, any one, any two, or all three. Column reordering does just that. It allows you to go in and move the columns around if you decide you want to do that. All right. Properties that you can set from the Smart Tag menu. What the hell is a Smart Tag? I want to show you. All right. If I take my mouse and I put it way up here, all right, if I click on here and I put it way up here, I think I have to have this unlocked. So let me unlock the controls. Now, if I come up here, you see that little arrow, hopefully, way up there. All right. Look familiar? It should. All right. Now I'm looking in here, and possibly the reason this didn't work, according to this, I don't have a data source. Let's see if we can set one up. So add project data source. We want to add a database. Next. A data set. Next. And it says this Henry. Well, I don't want to use Henry now. So I'm going to do a new connection. And I come up in here and I want to browse through. This should show me my, well, maybe not. Let's do this. Let's see. I always get confused over which one of these two this is supposed to be. Please wait while we retrieve a list of servers. I think I can put a dot there. Thought that I could. Refresh. Authentication, we want Windows, and we want to select the name of one of our databases. Well, and now it says loading database names. This is the reason I believe when I ran this, it didn't work. So let's see if we can fix it. Refresh. All right, it doesn't like that, so let's change here and make it this one. Say OK. All right. Now we have to browse. Okay. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. So let's see. We can try this. I have no idea if what I'm about to do is going to work or not. Let's go to C:/C#/database/. All right. And there's our MMA books. So let's see if that works. That should be the name of the database file, I hope. All right, so MMA book. Hopefully that's correct. Show the connection string. Next, it says the one that you selected is not in the current project. Would you like to copy it? Make a copy? Yes. All right, next. This is all stuff we're going to go over. I want all of the tables. So that means all of these and finish. So one of the things that was in there was a customer table. Now, it still isn't showing me a data source. Not sure why that is. I don't know if I'm going to get the same error I got. Again, this son of a biscuit. I'll have to go back and look at this program. But what it is going to allow us to do is what's going to allow us to put any database we want in there and run queries against. It's kind of a cool program. All right, so properties that you can set from the Smart Tag menu: allow user to add rows, allow user to delete rows, allow user or to columns, and make it read only. All right, so here is one that is bound to a data source. Okay, let's see. I have no idea if what I'm about to do is going to work or not work. So let's take this that we had in there. I guess we closed it already. But let's see. There's my tester. That's the product maintenance ones. So link demo. Modify. Well, before class, one thing that I did was I copied over. I thought that I did. There it is, DBs. Chapter 22. All right. So we'll look at one of these. I don't know which one, but we'll bring up one of these in a bit. So this is a data grid, as it says, product display. So do we have a product display here? Product maintenance and a customer display. Let's try this customer display. No idea if it'll work or not. That's fine. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So if we look in here, again, we may have to go to project, properties, and reset all these. Are probably 7. Set these 3 things to 8. 1, 2, 3, 8, 8, 8. So that should be okay. All right. Let's look at the form. This will be our customer display. Hopefully, at least, it's going to have a data grid view on it. There it is. So if I run this, kind of a neat program, it should give me a list of all my customers. There they are. And notice I can go through one at a time. All right. So this is actually going a page at a time. We've got 70 pages in here. If I go there, I'm to page 70. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like there's about 630 records in here. I can jump to the beginning. I can jump to the end. I can go back one at a time, or 1 page at a time. Go ahead 1 page at a time, or even tell it to go to a certain page. So if I wanted to say go to page 44, go to page, there it is. All right. That's kind of a neat program. And we'll look at all of these in just a bit, I think. All right. So we're setting up a new context. We're setting up our data source. Notice DGV for data grid view. And we're telling it we want it to list out all of the products. All right. So we set up a new context. And then notice we have a query in here that basically tells us, all right, we want to do this and we want to order it by, my guess is probably, this is a product one. All right, so probably by product code. All right, we want a list of products, which will get all the products for us. All right, and then we get this DTO thing in here. And again, we'll talk about this in quite a bit when we get to this in class. But a DTO is a data transfer object. What is going to happen is especially next semester, all right, in the AWD1100 class. What you're going to have when you start working on database programs, which is very quick into the class, all right, then what you're going to have is a models folder, a views folder, and a controllers folder. And there'll even be other folders, but those are your three biggies. In your models folder, you will have subfolders. For instance, you might have a domain models folder that is going to allow you to set up all the classes that are going to become tables. There might be other folders as well, including one that you might create called DTOs. These are your data transfer objects, which are going to allow you to, for lack of better words, to work with multiple tables at the same time. All right. In fact, I want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. So I'm just going to quickly Google here. What is a C# data transfer object? Okay. What is a valid data type? What is a data transfer object? That looks good. DTOs are most commonly used by the services layer. Yeah. They can encapsulate parameters. Okay, I'm looking for something, a very simple definition, and that was not it. All right. A DTO is an object that defines how data will be sent over a network. All right, and there's an example here. Okay, I don't want to go any further than that. So, all right, again, I don't want to go through code in here because I think you're probably going to find it too confusing. All right, now here they've gone in. If we look originally in here, these are not formatted. This is a dollar and cents. It's got 4 decimal places. All right, there's no dollar sign in there, etc. There are no commas in here. And if we go up and look, all right, we've at least formatted this. I don't know if we can format that for commas or not. All right, but you can have some control over how things are formatted. Header text, width, and default cell style. All right, by default, it's going to want to give it its names probably by default. Let's see. There's product code 1 word, unit price 1 word, on-hand quantity 1 word. And now you can see we've separated them out. All right. So again, header text, width, and default cell style. You can see in the example that we looked at earlier, play with the background color, the foreground color. You can format things, you can align things, center, left, right, etc., and play with fonts. All right, we will be looking at this, but as it says, code that changes some of the formatting. All right, so see they put the default cell format to currency as an example. The default alignment to middle right. All right, so there's the currency, and you can see that these two are right justified. All right. Some properties that you can work on when you are formatting include enable headers, visual styles, column headers, default cell style, alternating rows, default cell style. All right. Sort some of the properties for the data grid view column class, sort mode, and header cell. All right. Property for formatting is style. And when you look in here, this is what it is. So again, look at it this way. All right. When you go and you set yourself up with a data grid view, it is designed to return several records from a table or from a database join. Can it only return one? Sure. But typically it's going to return many. And that's the idea behind it. All right. So here we've got, as it says, We've got two button columns here and here. We don't have an add. All right. And as you can guess, notice add, insert, remove, and remove index. All right. So you go in here and here's some examples. So here's code as it says that adds a button column to a data grid view. What did it do? Oh, I thought it would show it here, but that's where I think where they added the add button. Now, the good news is when you set yourself up with a data grid view and you click on that smart tag and it says, do you want to allow adding? Do you want to allow updating? Do you want to allow it deleting? I believe, I could be wrong here, but I don't think that I am. That if you do that and you check all those, I don't think you have to provide any code. I think the code is written for you behind the scenes. I'm fairly certain of that. All right. The cell click event, again, this is not going to, again, be a long lecture. So this is a product maintenance form, and you've seen some of this kind of stuff before. This is the customer display. So let's close this one, and let's open up the customer invoice display. Again, I'm going to have to go back in and do project, and I'm going to have to go down to my properties and set all these. Now, when you are installing the C# on your own, if you install the newest, which is 10.0, you're going to have a lot more in here. You'll probably have to change yours to 10.0. I'm comfortable with 8.0. All right, so that's where I'm leaving mine. I'm going to run this. And you'll notice what we have in here. I want to show you something, and that is, let's see. All right, if I click in here, I can change it. All right. Well, I shouldn't have hit, evidently I shouldn't have hit that key, but okay. So I can come in and do the same stuff that I did before. All right, I can go to a certain page. I'm looking here. This looks like it should be a master detail form. So when you click on one of these, typically it produces the stuff in here. But it's different because invoice detail. So I think this is meant to show the invoices that person has. I can't believe none of them have any invoices to show in here. All right. You can probably tell I want to finish this before the end of our break here. So when it came to the database stuff and really chapters 20, 21, and 22, what you got was just very much of an intro and nothing else. All right. I didn't put a whole heck of a lot into this. All right. Just so you know. All right. So there was the add modify form. All right. You've seen this kind of stuff before. We've done product maintenance. Okay. So here's one that provides paging. And actually, all of them provide paging. And the idea behind paging is how many records do I want to show per page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 per page. There's 70 pages. So there's somewhere between 691 and 700 records in here. All right. And you work with all that to basically do and get in whatever it is you want. This is what I wanted to show you. This is a master detail. All right, so this is, it says customer invoice display, and I don't know why it's not showing both. But for instance, if you choose here Sarah Cumberland, you'll see that she has 3 of her own invoices in here. But when I tried it, it wasn't showing that. Okay. Now that's it. All right. So like I said, you didn't get a whole heck of a lot, but just take my word for it. You will get a lot more when we get into these chapters. Tomorrow is the beginning of class. We're going to go real slow tomorrow. I'm more concerned. The last time I looked, we had 18 people in the class. I'm more concerned with those people, whether they're live or they're watching it on tape, are able to understand how to set up everything. That's my biggest goal tomorrow, is to have us install the C# Visual or the Visual Studio 2022, to install Git and install GitHub, and have you understand what all that stuff is about. All right. Then after that, actually before that, we're going to go in and we're going to talk about everything that's in the syllabus. But then after that, if there's any time left, because like I said, we're going to do it nice and slow, we'll start looking at the book. All right. All of my lectures, again, will be taped, and they will be put out there that same day. All right. I'm working on a project for the databases now. When will it be done? Before we get to the database part of the class. All right. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.